Greetings. This is General CJG here, coming to you with, well, a reaction video for State of Star Wars, and also from a return of our 1 month hiatus, since we needed one because several reasons, which I won't disclose here. So there's that. And yeah, we are reacting to the latest trailer on Kenobi that released today in May the 4th. Oh yeah, May the 4th be with you guys and everyone that likes Star Wars. So, yep. And joining me here is...
Good night, Luke. How are you doing, everyone? Hello there, and may the 4th be with you.
Yep. And we are reacting to the Kenobi trailer. So, with that out of the way, Luke, are you ready to react to it?
Most certainly.
Okay, then we go in 3, 2, 1, go. Lucasfilm logo. Oh, shit. Stormtroopers.
They're coming.
Oh, there was one. Oh, there's a PlayStation.
Stay hidden. Or we will not survive.
They went to that way. There's
Leave us alone.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father?
Oh boy.
You still want Kenobi. He's gone.
Maybe you've been looking in the wrong places.
6-part events.
Low life and bounty hunter to squeeze him. You can't run, Obi-Wan! You can't escape him!
Oh boy.
Vader.
Christ.
Oh, really? Come on. Not even a glimpse of Vader out the tank?
Well, okay, so look, what do you think?
It looks like this show is setting up to be far more action-oriented than we originally thought it would have been. I mean, you see glimpses of this in the first trailer that we got, but it seems like this trailer is just further cementing that this is going to be very action-oriented, given how much of the Inquisitors we get in this trailer. Yeah, I am a little bit worried about it, actually, to be honest, looking at this, because the key objective for Obi-Wan at this point in his life, as everyone knows, is to keep a low profile and to protect Luke. But it seems like Obi-Wan is going to be lured into situations that completely go against that, and it looks like it might just be a recurring thing as well, rather than just a one-off thing that he has to do, which I'm not super keen on, but who knows? We could get some really good stuff out of this, but I'm cautious.
Yeah, I have to agree. Definitely, it looks like it's gonna be plenty of. Besides plenty of action, yeah, I don't know if I like the idea of Kenobi leaving Tatooine for going on adventures. Yeah, I don't know about that, so we'll have to see. Shall we go piece by piece with the trailer, Luke?
Sure.
Okay, so the first thing we see is a ship on some sort of cloudy atmosphere going to somewhere. I have a small hunch that it probably is one of the planets that the Inquisitors are exploring in search for Kenobi. I think it is, or search for Jedi. What do you think?
Probably.
Okay, and then we see the ship. It is going to the city. Okay, so then that same transport is going to the same city location that we later see one of the Inquisitors with stormtroopers walking around. If you see.
Yeah, so quick thing here. Do you think this is Coruscant?
That's a good question. It's something that me, the Django and Clint were wondering when we saw the first trailer, and from I don't know. It could be Coruscant or it could be another city planet. I don't know.
Maybe if it's not Coruscant, then maybe Nar Shaddaa?
Could be. Who knows?
Yeah. Trouble is, it's very unclear. If you just going back very quickly to the shot before when that transport is coming further down to the planet's surface, and you get that shot of ground level lights as the ship is coming down into the planet's atmosphere. That made me think it was. That was what made me think it could have been Coruscant at first, because you remember the shot in Attack of the Clones where we see Anakin falling down through the planet's atmosphere as he and Obi-Wan are chasing Zam Wesell, and you've got this massive orange lava-like ground that he's plummeting towards. This kind of reminds me of that, but then again, this could just be a very faint top-down view of all the lights on the street. But either way, so as you said, we see one of the Inquisitors. That's probably the fifth brother. If I were to hazard a guess as to which one it is.
Okay.
Then we come to would you say Tatooine, and we get a look at the Grand Inquisitor, the fifth brother, and the new Inquisitor that this show is debuting.
The Grand Inquisitor's appearance, plenty of people have said they don't like it because it barely looks like it.
I mean, you can tell it's him, but I think because I mean, you know how the Grand Inquisitor looks in Rebels, don't you? Like a really, really slim person. I think the reason people don't like the look of the Grand Inquisitor, and I think it also applies to the fifth brother as well, is because bear in mind you're taking what was originally a CGI model and trying to you're making the proportions a bit broader, and of course you're giving something that was originally CG the live action treatment, and it does look a little bit odd. Like the head of the Grand Inquisitor to me looks really round and a little bit chubby, which isn't quite how the Powans are. If you remember the Powans from Revenge of the Sith, for example, they're a fair bit slimmer than this.
Yeah, they should have just gotten a different man with a smaller head. That would have saved it.
Yeah, probably, and maybe the same thing for the fifth brother as well, because his head also looks a bit rounder than it probably should be.
I see. Yeah, indeed. So next shot, the Inquisitors are looking at the crowd in Tatooine. Apparently they are searching for Obi-Wan, as it seems. Oh, and in the crowd, Owen is there, if you notice.
Yeah. Oh, and next shot we get a very up close look at the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, people still don't like his appearance. Then we see the female Inquisitor roaming around the streets, and then we get a shot from the first trailer. They reused it, where basically it's Kenobi looking at the Luke's homestead, and Luke is playing with, simulating that he's racing on one of the speeders. I assume it's probably one of the pod racers. What do you think?
Maybe. Of course, like father, like son, after all.
Yeah. Which, speaking of that, the next shot we see Obi-Wan talking to Owen, and Obi-Wan says to Owen that Luke must be trained, and Owen is like, yeah, like how you trained his father. Oh,
and of course, Owen I'm pretty sure anyway. Well, actually, judging by that remark, the like how you trained his father, do you think Obi-Wan told Owen what happened to Anakin, or
Well,
um,
considering that he already is making a remark how he trained Anakin, well, either he told them or Owen figured it out on his own.
I guess, and you can see the expression on Obi-Wan's face, and he's no doubt holding back a lot of emotional pain there because that's a sore spot for him for very obvious reasons. And
Yeah.
just a quick thing about Obi-Wan's appearance: is it just me, or has his hairstyle reverted back to an extent to the Attack of the Clone style Jedi mullet?
Possibly, but considering he's gonna get old soon, well, he's just gonna lose that hair and look more like his episode 3 counterpart.
Yeah, it just feels a little bit weird because we've already seen the Jedi mullet style for Obi-Wan's hair once before, so the fact that it's somewhat going back to that here is a little bit odd for me anyway. But I suppose it kind of makes sense because when you're trying to keep a low profile and you're on a very and you're on a desert planet, you're not really going to care about keeping yourself well groomed, are you?
There's that, yeah. So anyway,
So
next we
yeah,
get the Inquisitors in their headquarters planet, the one that is surrounded by a lot of water from the first trailer.
yeah, newer, new, no, new, I think it's called. The planet's name is literally spelled Nur. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. But we see it in Jedi Fallen Order, so some people may recognize it from that.
Okay.
And we get another shot of the new Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and the other Inquisitors, and they're pretty much in some sort of meeting table discussing plans.
They're they're trying to pinpoint Obi-Wan's location, I think.
Yeah. What I'm wondering is why they're why they're so fixated on Obi-Wan. Did Vader order them to go after Obi-Wan?
This, I mean, it depends. Okay, I think I believe a decade after Episode 3 is when this show takes place, so 10 years. And here I am, and I'm thinking, shouldn't this be around the time that Vader's obsession with Obi-Wan has died down?
Well, this show does take place, I believe it's 10 years after Episode 3.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I just said. And shouldn't Vader's obsession with Obi-Wan start dying down at this point?
It should have, but for some
See,
reason...
if this show began only a few months or a year or two after Revenge of the Sith, okay, I'd buy it. But a full decade later, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And also, I mean...
Okay, confirmation. It is indeed 10 years after Episode 3.
Yeah, to me, this seems too far after the events of Episode 3 for Vader to still be fixated on Obi-Wan like this. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's doing it just so then that way he doesn't have to get involved himself, because I believe it was a stickler for Vader even in the pre 2014 EU that after becoming Vader he refused to go back to Tatooine ever again.
He refused to go back
Because
to Tatooine, but he did want Kenobi dead, at least in the first year or two, before Palpatine pretty much told him to stop being obsessing with Obi-Wan at this point. Just focus on pretty much serving the Empire and me.
I mean, I know that the Inquisitors are basically Palpatine and Vader's lapdogs, but even having them take or look for Obi-Wan on Vader's behalf, even that seems a bit weird to me. Again, especially considering how far past Episode 3 we are at this point.
Yeah. If it was 1-2 years after Episode 3, yeah, we could buy it better.
So next, anyway. So next shot.
It's Obi-Wan riding one of those camel creatures from episode 1, if you remember.
A Eopie, I think it is.
Yeah. So he's riding there. Then we get another shot of once again the Inquisitor's base. They're launching some ships. So
yeah, they look like
escape pods.
they're kind of escape pod looking ships, but they're probably not escape pods.
They're not scouring the galaxy in the next shot.
And we get another shot of the new female Inquisitor overlooking the city planet. And I don't know. I don't think we've had any confirmation yet as to who she is, but I seriously wonder who she is, given how much she's been featured in these 2 trailers already.
Yeah. Then it says that it's experienced a 6-part event, so it's going to be 6 episodes.
Yeah, and then we get
A bounty for Obi-Wan.
So wait, is this a bounty?
It has to be. Why else would it be there?
Well, it could just be a wanted,
Yeah,
a wanted notice.
That's a bounty. A wanted poster is basically a bounty because you're searching for this, you get a reward. That's a bounty.
If it's a bounty, wouldn't there be a credit total list specified somewhere on here, which it doesn't look like there is?
I see it down there. Yeah, I see it.
So then,
I don't even see the one
oh,
there.
okay. Well, it makes you wonder then what sort of bounty hunter are we going to be seeing in this show if this is indeed a bounty notice?
Well, the next shot does have one, so take a look at that. It could be Forlom, because it's a robot bounty.
Well, maybe it is. Because we don't get a very good look at this particular person, he or she is making me think a lot of Zori Bliss from Rise of Skywalker. I know for a fact this isn't actually her. This is not her. It can't be. But it kind of looks like her to me, especially because of the helmet.
To me, this looks more like Forlom.
As I say, it probably is Forlom, but it just reminds me a lot more of Zori Bliss for some reason.
Maybe she's the bounty hunter or the scavenger that you have in your mind in regards to people that don't do things in a lawful way.
Well, no, it's not because of that. It's just because, again, especially with the head. Oh, wait, actually, no, maybe it is Forlom because you've got the big bug eyes.
Yeah. And he moves and he looks and moves like a robot.
Yeah. And then, so then, is this Obi-Wan here fighting back against?
It is him.
What could be Forlom?
Yeah, we confirmed in the previous trailer reaction when we saw in close-ups that it was Obi-Wan. And then in the next picture, we see Obi-Wan fighting 2 people. Yeah, if you see close-ups, it is Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and if you look at the garments that the people Obi-Wan is going hand-to-hand against are wearing, it looks like Obi-Wan has been captured.
Does look like it, yeah.
Yeah. We get another shot of the Fortress Inquisitorius with a ship flying in, and another shot with the new female Inquisitor leading the charge, and a bunch of stormtroopers and even a couple of purge troopers behind her.
Yes. Oh, and an officer. And then Obi-Wan is fighting some stormtroopers in Tatooine.
Yeah, and again, this kind of goes back to the concern we expressed at the beginning of this. Obi-Wan facing off very, very directly against Imperial forces while he's meant to be keeping a low profile, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, indeed. Then we see a robot attacking some stormtroopers. So there's that. Then we see the female inquisitor with her pretty much fighting some I don't know who. So we'll have to see. Then we see some. I think that's the cantina owner in 104. Look, what do you think?
Oh, you think that's the Mos Eisley Cantina owner?
It looks like it. What do you think?
Maybe it's him, but of course we don't really know.
Yep. Next, we see a hand holding some sort of device. I don't know what device it is. It does look Republic-ish. Yep. Then we see a container ship and one of the Inquisitors waiting there. I think this she.
Oh,
What's up?
and it's the female Inquisitor again.
Yep, indeed. And then we see one robotic hand getting into somebody, which I think we know who. Then we see the Inquisitors walking, Obi-Wan, some stormtroopers preparing to shoot at something or somebody. Then Obi-Wan looking at the horizon. And then we see the control panel being put and it lights up, and guess who that control panel belongs to?
Well, of course, we can all tell who that is.
Yep, it's Darth
But
Vader.
yeah, Darth Vader. But no shot of Vader. Like, there's no shot of him looking down, or looking at anything or getting into any action. It's just him armoring up. And then we get a shot of Obi-Wan. Now, judging by what we can see behind him, it is very blurry, but do you think that he's been captured and that he's literally been placed right in front of Vader, and that the shots we get of Vader being armored up are literally him preparing to try and kill Obi-Wan?
If that's the case, then it will stink. Not because it will be a bad duel or anything like that. Stink because if you remember, Episode 4 pretty much strongly implies that Obi-Wan and Vader have not seen each other in fucking decades since Episode 3.
Nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
19 years to be exact.
Yeah, so they literally see each other here. What the fuck?
And also, you know, this isn't like really, really close to A New Hope. This is basically just past the halfway point of Obi-Wan's time in exile. So he's still relatively young-ish at this point. And, I mean, why? Because, I mean, we knew from the outset, in terms of what was being reported for this show, long before we got the first trailer, that there would be another confrontation of some description between Obi-Wan and Vader. And I have to ask, why is the new material, and I know that this show will not, or isn't by any means, the first piece of new canon media to do this, but why are they literally meddling with core details from the films?
Well, the answer lies in what you said, look, because it's new canon material that likes to do it. Disney Star Wars likes to do it.
This doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I tell you.
Oh, look. Oh, trust me. That's what me, the Django, we were like saying constantly when we saw the absolute disappointment that was Book of Boba Fett. And I hope to God isn't on that same level of disappointment as that show, because if it is, holy shit, I swear to you that I would definitely be not that excited for future Disney Star Wars shows, but even worse, the Django's gonna be like, I'm done with this. Because he already said that if Kenobi fails, then that's it for him.
Yeah, I mean, because how long now? How long now have Star Wars fans, even the absolute casuals who only care about the films, how long have people been clamoring for another chance to see Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan?
A lot, since I think 2005.
So we're looking at 17 years of people clamoring for this, and now we're getting it, and it's potentially really, really screwing with details that are pretty damn essential to the films.
The same case with Boba Fett. A lot of people were clamoring to see Tamora Morrison as either Boba Fett or Jango Fett. We got that, and look how it went.
And this is also another big reason for us as to why we're concerned about this show. So not only do you have Obi-Wan being very, very hands-on by the looks of it in taking on Imperial forces, you have this pretty much... Is it pretty much guaranteed that there will be an Obi-Wan Vader confrontation in the show?
It's been like hyped from the marketing. I mean, the casting of Hayden Christensen alone.
Is it Hayden Christensen literally in the Darth Vader suit in this case?
There's been no other Anakin Skywalker actor in the list, not even stunt doubles. Hayden Christensen's been the only one.
Unless you count Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah, but obviously he's not going to show up here, so...
I know, but just for... Yeah, I mean... I've actually just had a thought. I know we've derailed this a lot, but I've actually just had a...
We're already at the end. There's nothing more after the shot of Obi-Wan supposedly facing Vader.
Just a quick thing here. I mean, have you seen, General, the Ahsoka Vader confrontation from Rebels Season 2?
I have seen it, yeah.
So you know how that ends, with Ahsoka managing to blindside Vader and strike a part of his mask off?
Yes.
And then she sees Anakin, one of Anakin's exposed eyes underneath?
Yes.
Do you think this confrontation that this show is hinting at could end with something like that?
Considering it's Hayden Christensen, I'm pretty sure people will probably want to see his episode 3 stuff when he had all the entire makeup of the damaged Vader, if you remember, the entire face and body. So I think they'll probably do something like that in which we'll see him either without the mask before he puts on the entire armor, or Obi-Wan might damage his helmet in some way.
Yeah. Or they could go one step further and pull a Force Unleashed and have Obi-Wan knock Vader's entire helmet off, and we see Anakin's full face.
I mean, that probably will sound like a really cool battle. It just sucks that, Episode 6 said they've not seen each other since Episode 3, so... that's the...
Episode...
what do you think?
6 or 4, was it?
It was Episode 4 who pretty much said, I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. We meet again at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. I don't get that vibe from this show. I don't get that vibe at all. Do you?
No, I mean, if this big confrontation just happened to be a very lengthy dream in the final episode, like a lengthy dream sequence, that would be one thing, but this is very clearly not a dream sequence.
It does not look like that at all. No.
Yeah, I mean, and the trouble is as well, as we already said, because this is meddling with a core detail established by the films, it means if you watch just the on-screen stuff in chronological order, never mind reading and playing the umpteenth amounts of new canon media set during the Dark Times period, it means, as I've just said, even if you just watch the on-screen media chronologically, then watching this show before A New Hope renders the line that General just quoted completely meaningless.
It does render it meaningless, and yeah, it also makes you wonder why. Well, it makes you wonder several things. For one, wouldn't it make Vader's drive to go after Obi-Wan even stronger after they met halfway into the almost 2 decades? That's one. And two, wouldn't Vader have some sort of idea that maybe that he probably would be asking, wait, what the? Oh, Obi-Wan, what are you doing with this smuggler and this farm boy rescuing the princess? Didn't you learn from the last time we saw each other? I already beat you. So what are you doing here? You're now wanting to die? You know, something like that. Like it means that the exchange in the Death Star should have been different if they do meet each other in this halfway point. Like, that's what it feels like, and that rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is that. Anyway, so we spent plenty of time on that. Luke, you got anything else to mention on this trailer?
Not really. Well, just a couple more things. The final thing we get is the show logo appearing, and the premiere date. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi limited series streaming May 27th.
Yes.
Yes.
So for State of Star Wars, looking at that show. So
yeah,
we'll be covering it, and we'll see if it's either the last show the State of Star Wars will cover, if it ends up being a disappointment, or if it maybe is one of the shows that we'll be covering, as it may make us excited for more. We'll have to see. This show is strongly, let's just say it's Disney Star Wars' last hope, because Book of Boba Fett, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how you feel about with this general, but Anakin and Obi-Wan, they're my favorite Jedi duo of all time. Both of them are in my top 5 all-time favorite Star Wars characters. So this show, for me, I mean, who knows? Maybe this show will actually be an incentive to watch one of the Disney Plus shows for me, because I haven't watched Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett. Sorry to everyone who says, well, at least in the case of Mandalorian, that show is good. I just haven't got round to that yet. But the thing with this is, not only do I really hope that the characters are done justice, Obi-Wan and Vader in particular, but again, it is great that Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen are coming back for their respective roles, but the core details from the films, episode 4 especially, that this show seems to be smothering all sorts of retconning ink over. Yeah, I'm not super happy about that. So, I mean, who knows? This could be me just judging a book by its cover, and that it's nowhere near as egregious in terms of disrespecting the established lore as it appears to be. But yeah, I think this is going to be a bit of a retcon storm.
Yeah, and given that we already had some of that a little bit in Mandalorian, but certainly in Book of Boba Fett, yeah, that is gonna be something. But yeah, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see on it.
Yeah. So To put my overall thoughts in a very simple, just as a very simple statement, to summarize my thoughts in a very simple statement, I am very, very, very cautiously optimistic about this show.
Same here. I am also very cautious. Pretty much Book of Boba Fett has made me cautious on future Disney Star Wars, even though this one's not made by Jon Favreau de Filoni, but it's still there is one writer of this show, or director, I think, the writer, that definitely does cause some concern, because apparently he's done some shitty movies, so that's also another cause for concern, but we'll have to see. So yeah, definitely concerned, but we'll have to wait and see until May 27. I just hope it at least ends up being better than Book of Boba Fett. Hope to at least that. We'll have to see.
Considering how much longer people have been clamoring for Ewan McGregor to come back as Obi-Wan compared to Tamira Morrison as Boba Fett, this has to be at least good. If it's not, people are gonna start social media riots.
I mean,
I guarantee it.
I mean, they already kind of started with Book of Boba Fett, so
I know, but this show will just accentuate those problems or those riots if it's bad.
And to make it even worse, if the TV shows are starting to suffer, then that means that the last ace in the hole for Disney Star Wars is going to be wrecked. The movie's already failed, so they're only focusing on pure TV shows. And if that fails, well, oops.
And yeah, and bear in mind, since the release of Rise of Skywalker, we've mainly only had shows, haven't we? We had the final season of TCW, we've had the Bad Batch, we've had the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and now we're going to be getting this.
Mm-hmm.
So, granted, in the case of TCW, it was only one season, but if you look at the shows that have that we've received since the movies ended, this is, well, it's the fourth if you don't count TCW's final season, but it is the fifth if you do. And so we're still in the very early days of the Disney Star Wars shows, and already on their fourth one, that being Book of Boba Fett, things suffered a major faceplant. So, yeah, as you said, General, if this fails, then all future Star Wars shows could be doomed.
Yep, they could be. And supposedly they have, I think 6 or 7 planned, so we'll have to see. So, yep. Well, that's our thoughts on this trailer on the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Cautiously optimistic. Excitement levels, low, kind of middling. So, more cautious. So, we'll have to wait and see on that. And yes, when the TV show comes out, we'll definitely be reviewing it in a similar format as, well, The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, how we did with those. So yeah, I hope to God we don't have to do another behind-the-scenes expose video like Book of Boba Fett, because if we have to do that, oh boy, that would not be good. So yeah. So, yep, stay tuned for when that happens. But before we do the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, there is one Obi-Wan Kenobi related thing we'll have to do first to prepare for this show, as it's basically the standard for what this show should do. And you know what I'm talking about, Luke?
Star Wars Kenobi, the 2013 Expanded Universe novel by John Jackson Miller.
Yep. Oh, and look, it's actually, yeah, it's 2013. Mm-hmm. So, yep. Stay tuned for that. We'll be releasing it before the show itself debuts. So stay tuned for that. So, yep. And that's pretty much it. So, yep. This is General Cedar G and, of course, Luke Warren. We're pretty much signing off, and may the 4th be with you guys. So, we'll see you guys on the next State of Star Wars video. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone, and may the 4th be with you.